So the next show we're going to be talking about is Vanishing Line, which is actually part of the Garo series, which I didn't know.
Really?
This is like the third one, I think.
Oh, well, I'm kind of thrown in the middle of that. I don't think I've seen the other ones on that.
Yes.
Have you watched this one, though?
Yes, I've seen 3 episodes.
Okay. Is it just me? Is it just me? Or did they decide, whoever was making this series, is I'm going to take all of the tropes, all of the cliches about America, and I'm going to throw it in and make it an anime.
You know what? Now that you say that, I'm starting to see all of that.
It's what it seems like to me. I'm totally fine with that. I'm not going to dog on it for any reason on that. But it just seems like the more I was watching it, I just started grinning more and more, looking at it going, oh my God, this is like they just took all things stereotypical American and being like, we're going to throw it in here. We're going to throw that in here. We're going to put that in there. I mean, you think about it.
Yeah.
His base of operations that he keeps getting his information from is a 80s diner.
Yes.
Which they wear the outfits that you would have seen from that in that time frame, the waitress and everything.
And there's red, white, and blue makeup, right?
Something like that.
Okay.
But then like the meal that he orders is like a huge steak with fries and mashed, like so much. I'm just like overhaul. Like I'm like, well, yeah, that's probably something stereotypical there. And his personality is so like over the top in regards to that. I mean, he's the womanizer.
Yeah.
Always going after the ladies, regardless. And he's just like the big, brawny, I'm going to like barrel my way through and use just so much force until it finally works out kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it going, that's literally his personality. And I swear, it's like they literally took everything in that in regards to like America and been like, you know what, this is how we're going to do it. Mm. And I'm totally on board with that. I'm totally him. Yeah. As bad as I am totally on board with that. I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it, but, you know, I like his bike. I like the fact that he has like a sort of quid pro quo for that with his bike. How, you know, he's the gung ho beat him up kind of personality, where his bike's personality is kind of like, really, we're doing this again.
I wonder if he has a Harley.
Huh?
I wonder if the bike is a Harley, because that would be also like another American thing.
Yeah, that would be funny if that was the case though too. But even then, it's like, you know, and his bike actually has more reasoning than he does half the time.
Yeah.
But I like the other characters too. I mean, his what do you call him, Lucas or Luke?
I think it's Luke. Yeah.
Yeah, the one who's like the gunner, who's kind of the quiet type, and then gets annoyed about his obnoxious, over-the-top behavior. Yeah. Being like, come on, we're not supposed to be in the limelight. We're not supposed to be drawing attention to ourselves. And what do? You blow up a tanker in the middle of a bridge. Of course you're drawing attention, you know.
He's like, you're no fun. You're a spoil sport.
He's like, stop it. So... but yeah, no, it's over the top. It's so cliched and in a lot of ways predictable in so many things that they do. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? This is definitely one of those that I don't have to think about.
Yeah.
I can literally just sit back, enjoy the ride for what it's going to be, for the ridiculousness that it's going to be, and I'm still on board with it. Totally. I want to know what's the deal with El Dorado. I want to find out what's, you know, I was a little sad when the girl from the first episode didn't appear again till like the 4th episode. Like the 2nd and 3rd episode, I'm looking at it going, well, where'd she go? I thought we were going to be like on board with this with her, and then she didn't show up for the longest time.
Yeah.
But then she came back and I'm like, okay, now we're back on. I felt like we had like diverged from it, you know, like we had been like, well, we want to introduce these other 2 characters that are somehow related to this, and then we'll go back to the actual story, you know. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. We can go back to where we need to be. But I'm interested, like the yokai and these monsters who either inhabit people and turn them into like horrible monsters, or, you know, inhabit like inanimate objects or whatever, and cause people, you know, havoc and craziness. I'm like, I'm totally on board wanting to know where these things are coming from, what it has to do with El Dorado, what happened with this girl's brother, all of it. I'm just like, hell yeah, sign me up. I get onto this. So, but I mean, he's the cliched hero too. He always comes in at the last minute, saves the day, does whatever he has to do, So I'm like, whatever. We'll go with it.
Okay.
Nothing amazing here. I'm not gonna say anything's groundbreaking or anything. So the animation's top notch. I think I'm like digging the animation that they did for it. But again, there's really nothing like amazing about it. I feel it's just like it is what it is, and we just kind of go along with it. So
yeah. So some parts of this show are a little gruesome. I gotta be like, ugh. But other than that, it's actually really cool. I like how exaggerated the fights are. It's kind of like the camera is struggling to keep up with the fight, where it's like it's chasing the dude and he's just like reaching back and bah, and the camera's like wait, okay, now I'm here, and it's like whoa, dodging elbows and stuff like that. So it's really cool that the camera is like so animated as it is. The first episode was a little much to keep track of. I couldn't tell mostly what was going on at like the climax of the fight, but then in episode 2, when there was a tag team fight, I really liked how they kind of reined it in, and I was actually able to like follow everything. So it's getting better. Like I like how there's 3 main warriors, I guess, and they're trying to track down the hollows. I do want more time with the girl and find out like with her brother and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like how she was.
Well, you're on. Have you watched just 3 episodes or 4 episodes?
Yeah, I know. Okay. Like how you said she shows up in the 4th episode again. So I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, we get back to her and find out what's going on with her and her issues and whatnot. Mm-hmm. A little bit more backstory. I'm hoping now that they've kind of teamed back up again, that we'll get like more of a full story now as far as on episode 5. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
So one thing that I'm learning about you is that if the 3D is super duper stylized, you don't even care.
Yeah. It's more okay. I will say this. For me, like, okay, for CG as far as it goes, like I was totally on board with it when I watched, say, like Appleseed. Yeah. Like, because that to me made sense. Yeah. It's futuristic. You're going to have kind of like this robotic almost thing. Things weren't human. I'm totally on board with that. Can totally see that. With Final Fantasy and Kingsglaive and the Final Fantasy VII one, it was so well done that I didn't even care. Mm-hmm. That it was like, okay, that's great. And then with things like Garo, I'm like, I can see it every now and then, and it'll hit my mind being like, oh, 3D. But at the same time, there's so much going on, and it all happens so fast. I'm trying to keep up, and it doesn't really bother me as much with that regards. Mm-hmm. It's those moments when we have like, say for instance, what's that really popular one? It's not even it's in Texas as far as like the main RBW or RBY.
Oh, Ruby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's really popular.
Yeah.
Hugely popular. But it's a 3D animation kind of thing. Uh-huh. And they have so many slow moments where like nothing's really going on. You're only looking at the characters and nothing else. And I'm like, this just feels horrible. Yeah. I can't. It feels horrible. There's nothing going on. There's no reasoning for this. There's no reason why this couldn't have been 2D animation. Y'all just wanted to do a 3D animation with it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, no, I can't. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing where I think it comes in. So when it just looks wrong and it looks off and doesn't feel right and doesn't have a purpose, then and you're literally just doing dialogue like a slice of life type story, I'm like, come on, no. Okay. No, cool. No, can't do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts in this show, like especially the fight scenes, where it would be incredibly difficult to do in 2D. So I do like how super duper stylized it is. Yes. Me, I have a history with Garo. I don't really like Garo. The first 2 seasons, I tried to watch the first one. I tried to watch the second one. I didn't like either. And for some reason, I didn't know this one was Garo until I looked at it on Crunchyroll and it was like Garo, Vanishing Line. I'm like, oh no! But I went ahead and gave it a shot, like I do every series that comes out for Garo, and I love it. Like, there's certain parts that like definitely like how parts of it look like a mix between a metallic lion and Karas. You remember the 3D Karas?
Yeah.
Like how everything's like
Oh, yeah.
super detailed and like sharp edges and all that kind of stuff. Like that style is 100% Garo. So as soon as it said Garo and then the intro started playing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely a Garo series. But when it's not doing that, one, I don't recognize it, and two, it's so stylized that it blends together. So I'm on board for this series.
Oh, yeah.
And then the story's interesting enough to where I'm like, yeah, let's go. And the guy is not, is like, yeah, he appreciates a nice physique from a woman, but he's not perverted about it.
No, well, I mean,
Well,
I honestly, when he does stuff like that, I just laugh.
yeah, because like he'll see somebody and he's like, oh, good job. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's funny. He's not like tripping and falling on the woman and has his hand like up her underwear and stuff like that. So I'm glad it's not silly like that.
I will say this, he is definitely one who would be looking at a woman, but he's respectful enough not to do anything involving with that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, but still, it's literally after the first episode, my impression of him, of the anime, of everything that happened, of how over the top everything was. My first thought to me was, I'm like, literally, I feel like whoever made this was like, you know what? Let's take all the tropes, all the stereotypes of America, and let's just throw them all into this. Just cram it all into as much as we can. Because I'm like, this is literally just reminding me of just all of that, which is just hilarious and funny, and I'm totally on board with it. So
cool. Yeah. I'm glad I finally like a Garo series. So this is looking good. And he's like, hey, I'm the bad guy. Slice everybody into pieces. And I'm like, what the hell? And like, there's like chunks.
You know, and it's the dynamics and relationships, the characters I enjoy. Not just, because you have the human interaction, but then the monster interaction with it